Hello everyone, it's Several 4 for the weekly update. I don't really have much to say today, honestly. This past week sucked. Just things are getting worse. And I just really am not enjoying being online because people are just upping the rhetoric and the lies and not thinking about it. I talked to a few people who wanted to listen, which was very nice of them. But I guess one thing that I want to say, which I tweeted, was. Where is it? Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely not responsible for the people that you retweet, but you're responsible to know who you are retweeting. And that sounds like the same thing, but it's not. Essentially, to explain that is when you retweet somebody and they go and be a bad person, that's not on you. It's on them. It's absolutely on them. However, when you retweet somebody and they are a bad person, then it's your responsibility to know and or correct that. And I've just seen a lot of people retweeting stuff about the war in Israel, and the people that they, either legitimate points or very thinly veiled dog whistles. But the people that they're sharing are actual horrible people who either celebrated the massacre of Jews or explained it away or just make really edgy jokes about the situation, and they argue in bad faith. And from the outside, what you see isn't necessarily wrong, and again, they might be making a good point, but from a personal perspective, from my perspective anyway, I can see exactly what they're saying. As a Jew, I can read between the lines, and the message between the lines is always that we want Jews dead, or we want to destroy the state of Israel, not free the Palestinians, not protect the Gazans. It's destroying the state of Israel, and that shouldn't be the goal. The goal should be the people. It shouldn't be a war. And that's a distinction that people don't make. It's a distinction that they don't want to make because that lessens their moral outrage, and they can't make as strong of a point if they just want to protect people. So they don't make that point, and people throw away their moral compasses and use phrases and slogans that are dog whistles for destroying Israel. And I just have to see that constantly, and I've had to unfollow a lot of people. Some people that I've been friends with for a while, some people that I just started following, because they aren't ignorant, they're maliciously ignorant, which is a difference. And again, there's a few people that I was able to talk to explain the things, but that's because I know their intentions are good, and they just didn't really think about it, or they didn't look into the person, or they didn't understand why that was a problem, which is fine. It's okay to make mistakes, but when you don't backtrack, or when you don't apologize, or change the things that you do, then that's a problem. Like, people refuse to change or say anything when presented with new information, and because it undermines their point. And if you're going to start lying because otherwise it'll undermine your point, then your point isn't valid. And I said this elsewhere also. If you see a bad person make a good point, there's two options. One, it's not actually a good point, and you should rethink it, why you think that it's a good point. Or two, it actually is a good point, and that means that there's probably a whole load of good people that are making the same exact point, and you can give those people voices and not the bad person. You don't have to give anyone a voice. You're not beholden to a single person except for yourself. And that includes me also. You can choose to ignore me, and that's fine. I've lost a lot of followers I've lost a lot of followers over the past few weeks because I keep making statements saying that maybe we shouldn't kill Jews. But that's their prerogative, and I can't control anybody. But you can control yourself, and you can control the things that you share. No one forces you to do anything, and that gives you a responsibility. And life is full of responsibilities, unfortunately, and we are responsible for the things we put into this world, and that includes the voices that we share. And that's one reason why I look through a person's tweets, at least recent tweets, before I share something that's aside from like if it's just a dumb meme or something, I'm probably not going to check it. But if it's something that I deem important, I try to make sure that it's not using charged language, that it's making a good point and that it's making a healthy point, and it's not just coming from a place of hate, because that is already arguing in bad faith, and that doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help anybody to argue from a place of hate. And it's just been overwhelming to see the ramping up of anti-Semitism online and in our neighborhoods here. Like, we have to have armed security at our synagogue. They tell us that not to congregate in front of it after services to talk to each other because that makes us targets. My brother was walking down the street yesterday on Sabbath of his college, and a guy just drove by and started cursing at him from his car, calling him a dirty Jew and things. He wasn't doing anything. He was walking on the sidewalk. And, it's just all over college campuses in the U.S. here. People have just been... It's terrible in general. Anti-Semitism has been rising year over year for years now. And part of that is because of our last president, and part of that is just because of people not caring and enabling this behavior. And it's not a problem with the right, and it's not a problem with the left. It's a problem with everyone. It's on both sides of the political equation in the U.S. here and abroad. And growing up as a Jew, you have the history lessons of what our people went through over the thousands of years. And, it's always, we live in an area until everyone gets tired of us, and then they decide to try and kill us. And that's something that's repeated over and over with pogroms and massacres, and obviously the Holocaust, but the Crusades, Spanish Inquisition. We have so many points in history, and a lot of them recent, honestly, where neighbors just turn on us, and it's frightening, because we just grow up knowing that while we hope that people change, it's always just a matter of time until everyone just turns against you. And just for the fact that you're Jewish. And I'm seeing it now, honestly. I'm feeling it. And there's nothing I can do about it. And it's really up to, because I can't keep making the case for myself. I can't just keep proving that I deserve to live, because that's not fair to me. That's not fair to anyone to have to justify that. It includes the Palestinians as well, because everyone has to say, yeah, but. There's no but. No one has to justify their existence. No one should have to. And when I say no one, I mean no one, not just me. And that's really something that people on the outside have to do. They have to stop making it a bad environment. But the way that social media works is that lies are amplified, hate is amplified, and outrage is amplified. And there's nothing I can do about that, and there's nothing most people can do about that, because everything is a hotbed of hate, and the people with the loudest voices are always the people with the most hateful voices. And people in the middle sometimes just don't understand that they're helping there. And again, it's not malicious, but it still happens. It's like the old phrase I like to use about certain things is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I think about that a lot with, interpersonal relationships and just online in general. But yeah, so I just don't feel very comfortable here. It's kind of stupid to follow this up and to say I actually have a Let's Play planned for Halloween. I still want to release it, starting on the 31st, because that was my plan, and I don't want to just keep delaying and delaying and delaying. But I just haven't been feeling it, obviously, honestly. I don't want to stream. I don't want to hang around Discord, Twitter. I haven't been at friends' streams because I just don't feel comfortable anywhere. And that sucks. As I feel like, aside from the fact that, that I'm alone in this, I also feel like now that I'm bringing baggage in, that people are saying like, oh, it's Dovey, we have to watch what we say around him. And I don't want to be that person either. I don't want to be baggage for other people. But yeah, and it doesn't look like this is going to be ending anytime soon, unfortunately. I mean, the anti-Semitism never ends. Like, that's never going to stop. I'm talking about the people talking about the war. As long as the war's going on, obviously, it's going to keep going. And, people just have a certain focus on the Israel-Palestine conflict, and everybody seems to be experts on it. They just don't care about anything else for some reason. I don't know. It's because it's highly politically charged. But yeah, this is just me complaining, and I apologize. It's been extremely depressing to exist online, and it's, I guess, easy for some people to ignore it because they're not directly involved, and they don't have to deal with the hate and the micro and the macro aggressions. But I have the unfortunate perspective of being able to read between the lines and just see and understand where the hate is coming from, the positions that they're coming from, and see that the intentions of all of these people are not pure. They don't want to help. They just want to make hate. And I can't do anything about it. But, if you listen to this and it makes you think at least for a few seconds about what you share online, then I appreciate you. And again, if you look at something and you inspect it and you say, no, I still think this is the right thing to say, then that's awesome. I'm not telling you to shut up. I don't want to silence anyone. What I want to make people do is think about the places where the words are coming from as opposed to the words themselves. But yeah, thank you for listening. And I don't know, maybe I'll see you in a couple days for a video. I'm getting a MRI tomorrow to see what my back is looking like after a couple of years of not having the rods in it. And I drew a Torgal from Final Fantasy 16, adult Torgal, that I really liked. That's on Twitter and Blue Sky. But yeah, thank you for listening. I mean, if you're listening to this, it probably means you haven't dropped me like a hot potato yet, and that's I appreciate that. Yeah, here's hoping for times in the future where we just don't have to worry about these things. You can always hope. You don't have to assume these are going to happen, but you can hope. And here's hoping that you can just have times where there's so little to worry about going on that we complain about how bored we are. Wouldn't that be nice? Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.